Good morning, everybody. This is Lorraine.
And Jennifer.
And this morning, I want you to imagine, if you're an advertiser, I want you to imagine a world without Facebook. Does that make you feel good, or does that send a little panic into your system?
Well, with digital marketing, it's always something new. So I've gotten over the panic phase. Like, okay, what do we got now?
Absolutely. And what I'm referring to is something that's is starting in Europe, but may very well come here someday. And that is that Facebook is going to offer a subscription model in Europe on both Facebook and Instagram where you can pay
To have no
not to see
ads.
ads.
It's based on the European Union, basically really trying to guardrail privacy, and so they're trying to appease the European government wanting that. So it is voluntary right now to, not basically not have your information collected, have a paid model, and be able to be ad free.
And in a way, this really isn't any different than what we're seeing with a lot of the subscription services. I know that on certain streaming services, because I'm using a lot of different streaming services, I'm making choices. Oh, I can do that with ads. You know what? It's a pain in the neck, but I'm going to do ads on that service to save a little money.
Mhm.
And when it gets annoying, I'll be like, you know what? Too many ads. I am going to upgrade.
Yep. Yeah, YouTube. You see it on podcasting. So there's like a whole nother level of
Mhm,
better content that you can get to by using paid version, no ads. Yeah,
mhm.
there's so it really caters to those people who have money.
Which, as an advertiser, is absolutely maddening because the very people, the higher end consumers who maybe have more disposable income, who may be more apt to pay for
Buy
my product or service, are
are
the very people that are going to be opting out of advertising. So that's one side of it. So now, as an advertiser, I'm more desperate. So the really high end people have opted out. And now the people left, in order to hit my reach numbers, they're going to see higher frequency of ads. They're going to get annoyed too. So, what choices do I have as an advertiser? What do you think, Jen?
well, level it all out. These platforms are built on content.
Mhm.
So they need good content for people to continue to stay on these platforms. So they need business owners and users to still produce good content that consumers want in order to keep their model going. And so I mean, what's going to happen on the paid model is they're going to have to open up, in my opinion, reach for on the paid model for when I post organically without paying for any ads so that I can still reach those people because they're making their money in a different way.
Well, so on the one hand, I think that it definitely is going to highlight the need for good content, which has always been there.
Yeah.
And so if you've gotten very dependent on advertising and your content skills are a little rusty, now's a great time to improve them. But I also do wonder that if I'm paying a subscription, one of the things that I've never had as a user of Facebook was really any say in what I saw. I mean, I could say, I like this, I don't like this, show me, but I wasn't paying for it. I
Mhm.
wasn't really a consumer. I was part of the product.
Yeah.
As I become a consumer, I'm going to expect a higher level of curation ability in my feed.
Correct.
I'm going to expect to say, you know what? I don't follow this company. I don't want this information. This is the kind of stuff I want. And so, adequate content, not just um, getting by the way you have in the past.
Right.
Your stuff is going to have to be exceptionally good.
It's gonna have to be good at engagement
Mhm.
metrics, and you're
Yes.
gonna have to pay attention to that, and, so if it goes well over in Europe, despite if it is hidden in the fact of privacy, which we've seen this before with tech companies hiding it in this, if it goes well, then, you're gonna have to change your back to organic social media being the king again. And I see this in another way though too, not just this. I also see it with 51% of Gen Zs using social media for their search engine now.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. I think the demands on content creators have never been higher. The
Correct. Quality.
expectation that
Quality.
it will be quality, that it will be valuable and interesting and dynamic. And that doesn't mean it has to be all flashing lights and stuff, but it does have to be delivering relevant information, or people are just gonna skip over it. Well, they won't even have to skip over it. The algorithm will skip over it.
Isn't this, going back to like the free channels on TV
Mhm.
versus the paid model in like cable TV?
Yeah.
Isn't it just a repeat?
In a way, it is the same battle over and over again for how do you reach the audience, because there is still value in those customers who to this day will still watch some things on network television.
Hmm.
There are still prestige and appointment television shows that still have an audience,
Yeah.
and the ads on those shows are very expensive.
Yep.
Um, and then you have the paid models where I think Netflix is the most interesting one. It's a paid model,
Hmm.
and they crank out so much stuff
Oh yeah.
that you can always watch something. But the interesting thing is, there are some good shows. There's a lot of crap, though. And
Yeah.
so there is a lot of crap. And but they do that to keep their catalog robust, to keep people subscribing.
Yeah, so I don't pay for any other television besides Netflix and Hulu. I'm in that bucket. And so, I want that content that's there and I want good content and there's just enough to keep me like there, but there's people that are trying to get their stuff out there. So it goes back to that quality of content. They've done the same thing with content creators and like let's get them excited. Let's give them a little money to produce content, and then they're hooked. They want to get in. They want to do that. Businesses want to get out in front,
Mhm,
and it could change. It could be hidden in this privacy thing,
mhm.
which is very true in Europe. It's very true that that's going on, but it could also be a sneaky way of Facebook earning money that way.
I think that in a way, the Europeans have done Facebook a tremendous favor,
Yes.
because when Mark Zuckerberg launched this thing and he said it's going to be free forever, the truth is he had no idea how big it would get
Yeah.
and how unsustainable it would be.
Yeah.
And the very best way to sustain Facebook is to build a subscription model. The less dependent he becomes on advertisers, the more flexible that platform becomes. The
Yeah.
more the more freedom he has to run the business the way he wants to. So, in this instance, good for him. And good for the end user. So maybe it's a win, and advertisers are going to have to adjust to a new reality.
We always have to adjust in digital marketing.
Absolutely. And if you are trying to figure out your 2024 marketing plans and you're trying to figure out how this and other changes in the digital landscape are going to affect your business, maybe you need to schedule a working session with Jen or I.
Yep. We're staying ahead. We're way out there. We're figuring out what's going on. We're using our experience. Lorraine has a lot more than me.
And we've got areas of specialization that really resonate and really are relevant. So, looking for
History
a little
repeats
help?
itself.
Check out the office hours at digitaltoolbox.club.
Take care.
Bye.